I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Table Spot. My name is Metal Mike, and I'm here, as always, with Cam, the host of the Boom on Wednesday nights after AEW Dynamite. Cam, how you doing tonight, bro?
Oh man, I'm a bundle of emotions, a bundle of just confusion right now. But I'm doing all right though, man. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, I'll say this. Today it didn't feel like a Monday. Like all day, it didn't feel like a Monday until we got to the point of Raw starting.
Right.
Like it felt kind of like a Tuesday. Like I started normally I do certain things on certain days off of work, and I started doing stuff that I would normally do on a Tuesday before I went to my doctor's appointment today. And then I came home from my doctor's appointment and I had a bunch of stuff to do around the house, and I was like, "Hold on, it's Monday. Raw's on tonight. Okay, yeah, I got to watch Raw." And then we got the show tonight. So I almost forgot it was Monday.
Yeah, I think that happens with some of these longer feeling weekends that come by. You know.
Well, I mean, the other thing is too is like football season's coming to an end. You know,
Yeah.
we have one game left,
Yeah.
and then that's it. But then we're getting hit with, the UFL's coming up. We got the NFL draft that's on March 3rd, or free agency that hits March 13th. The draft is on April 25th through 27th. So football season, realistically, yeah, the NFL's done. We get the UFL, but then we get all the NFL offseason stuff, and then we get the NFL.
Right.
So
What's up,
I think that's what really throws me off is football season being done. But baseball season's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. So, but before we get kicking off here on the Table Spot tonight, I just want to let y'all know to make sure to head over to Rivet City Radio and Off Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Check out all the great content going on the networks throughout the week. As you see the scroll underneath on the bottom of the screen, Tuesday night, immediately following NXT, is NXT on tap. Wednesday night following AEW Dynamite is the Boom, and Thursdays at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Nerdy News. So make sure to check out all the great content, those shows, and more on the networks. Also, head over to patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. Check out all the great content going on over on the Patreon. So, Cam, we're going to start a new segment before we start talking about Raw. A new segment here tonight, and that is What's on Your Mind. And Cam, you texted me earlier and said, "Dude, I am ready for tonight. I am so hyped. Like, I am ready to just, So you, my good sir, are going to kick things off with this new segment. What's on your mind, Cam?
So I typically don't watch. It's funny too because USA Network is on and they're showing a preview for Monday Night Raw. So that's ironic. But usually I get on this program and I don't really watch Monday Night Raw. I've told you this before off camera. I just can't really stomach or sit through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, right? So typically when I get on here, I just, look at the recap from, Bleacher Report and things like that. But after all of the just stomach turning, disturbing information that we have grown to learn after Friday Night SmackDown last week, I was like, I've got to watch at least the first 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes even of Raw, because I feel like I know how it's going to open. I kind of figured Seth was going to open it, and I was very curious to see what Seth had to say, because I mean, Roman, he might as well have gotten the golden shovel for Seth on SmackDown, because he basically told you everything you needed to know of how he truly felt about the losers bracket and the secondary title.
Yeah.
And that was like some almost just borderline shocking information. Like, now I don't even want to say so much shocking, but it's crazy to see like how he really felt.
Yeah.
So I knew Seth was going to open the show, and I was like, I'm curious to see how Seth is going to rebound to what Roman had said.
Well, there was a sign going around on Raw tonight. Okay. And I'm going to pop this up as you continue talking about what you're talking about. There was a sign roaming all around on Monday Night Raw tonight. And that was this. Hashtag we want Cody.
Absolutely.
It's been trending for 3 days, all weekend into today.
Yes.
So while you continue, I apologize for cutting you off, but I wanted to get this up here.
Oh, no problem, because that just leads into what I was going to say. So of course Raw opens, and I don't know if anybody else caught this, but it's very ironic that we open Raw and we don't see the pyro going off. We don't see the crowd or whatever. They open Raw and they remind us who the rightful main eventer for WrestleMania, the winner of the Royal Rumble this year, Cody Rhodes. And then of course they went into what happened on SmackDown when Cody was just blatantly robbed, it seems like. Even though this match hasn't been made official, we've got the press conference on the 8th, but
yeah,
it's kind of obvious. So that whole segment with Raw, I was very curious to see how what they were going to say. Seth comes out there. I mean, he does his typical Seth thing, but listen to the audience. Like, just listen to them. They're chanting, "We want Cody." Yep. They booed this said segment that they showed on SmackDown with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in the ring. They booed that heavily. They chanted "Rocky sucks" for the first time since probably '96 that Michael Cole had said. Are we in 1996 again? That was shocking to hear. It's crazy to me. Just that fast. They have completely turned against The Rock. The new people's champion is blatantly Cody Rhodes. It's obvious. So tonight's opening segment for Raw really kind of it just irritated me. Cody Rhodes came out, and of course Seth is making this claim that I need this match. I need this match just as much as you do. Even though it still would make sense because you're 0-3 to Cody Rhodes, and even if you were to beat him at WrestleMania, you'd be 1-3. Like it still wouldn't make any sense. They would need 3 more matches, so then you would be 4-3. Like, but no one wants to see 3 more matches after that. It just overkill at that point. Anyways, but he only said maybe 2 sentences, maybe that entire time. Mm-hmm. And I just wish they would have constructed that segment better to where they would have at least let this man speak his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can see, and this feels real, because I'll get into the whole, some people saying that this is a work and things like that. The look on his face says it all. Like, it's true emotion. He loves and appreciates the passion and the support that he's getting from the fans, from the WWE universe.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel like this is a work, because this is real emotion coming from this man. Look at his face when he goes to shake Rock's hand on SmackDown. This man was broken.
Well, you see it like the moment, and I'm going to take this down now so we can get back up on the screen here, full screen. Like you see it when you see the handshake, you see the smile, and then once The Rock starts talking to him in his ear, you just see the breakdown on his face. Just like went from like that moment. Just said like that, his face just said 1,000 words. Didn't even need to say anything. The chat is alive tonight.
They are alive, yo.
Will, Al, Uncensored, Ginger, Sean, everybody, thank you for coming in tonight. We appreciate you coming in and watching the table spot. I know it's late for some of y'all, but we appreciate you being here with us tonight because this is going to be a fun show tonight. Fun show.
Appreciate you guys.
Definitely. Now, Cam, I came up with my own little. I can't call it a theory. Just more so like a thought. You know me, I put a lot of thought into things, and no, I'm not getting into the multiverse thing. We're past that. Okay, this isn't going to be Wednesday night. We're going to get past that.
Oh,
I totally froze Cam.
I forgot about that. Yo.
So
I
for those of
forgot
you who
about that.
don't know, go back and watch the Boom from Wednesday night. We had a discussion about Tony Storm. And I said, what if it's like a multiverse type of deal where she's from the past and the future, like there's two versions of her. We're not going to get into that, okay?
Jesus Christ.
I tried to pop you, Cam. It's, but anyways, all weekend I was thinking about this since probably Saturday morning. Okay. I have a feeling I know why they went this route with The Rock and Cody. Okay. When Cody won the Royal Rumble, my initial thought was, okay, they're going to have Cody beat Roman. They're probably not even thinking about the record book thing anymore. They're probably past it. But then I thought, you know what, though? They still have, Rhea, Gunther, who have long reigns as champion. They're trying to get a modern era superstar in the record books, and they are this close with Roman. And the first word that came to mind was protect. I feel like they're protecting both Cody and Roman. Roman, because of how close he is to the record. Cody, because Cody's this uber babyface. I mean, he is well loved. Ever since he's been back in WWE, you haven't heard a boo in the crowd for him. Even at the Rumble, he got the most cheers. He got more cheers than CM Punk. I heard booing for CM Punk at the Rumble.
Yes.
On my TV. For Cody, I heard none.
No.
Okay. Now, if Cody were to go out and beat Roman at Mania, 6 months, 7 months, he would be sick of it. They'd be sick of him being champion. It would happen. Or else I feel like it would happen. So this is what you can do.
I do, Jax.
Protect Roman, get him to the record past September. Have Cody take on Seth, lose to Seth. He can lose at Mania to Seth. My biggest thing was him losing to Roman 2 years in a row. But it's okay for him to lose to Seth at Mania. In October, and Will brought this up on Botch Spots and Chair Shots last night. Botch Spots and Chair Shots every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Rivet City Radio's Twitch, off the top Media's YouTube channel. Check it out. Check out last night's episode. Will brought this up. Cody and Roman can face on a SmackDown. And I mentioned in the chat, and at Madison Square Garden, I mentioned in the chat, very first episode of SmackDown in October on USA, do it in Madison Square Garden. That's when Cody can beat Roman for the title. They got the record. You're 10 months into 2024, which is way past WrestleMania. You get to build Cody up even more of being that uber babyface. And then the very first episode on USA Network, in the arena, that his dad almost won the championship befitting. Who cares if it's on SmackDown? Look at Kofi and Brock. First episode of SmackDown on Fox. Kofi lost the title to Brock on SmackDown. So do it on SmackDown. I'm just as upset as other people with the whole Rock coming back. I am. I don't want to see Legends coming, but like it's cool. It's a nice little nostalgia thing for Legends to come back. But this roster's doing so good without having to involve legends, Hall of Famers, past veterans. They are doing so good to where it doesn't need to happen. But at the same time, I get it because they want to put modern superstars in their record books. You look at their record books, it's people from the 80s, the 70s, back during the territory days. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. Because it's how I feel and I think what they're doing and what they're trying to do. They got a whole fan base pissed off right now. A whole fan base pissed off. Like, people are not happy. People are upset returning their merch, their Cody merch after he won the Rumble. Because they feel like it was a waste. Like, people are pissed. And I don't blame them. I don't. But at the same time, we kind of got to see where they go with this. Because realistically, Cody didn't make his decision yet. He didn't. Could he turn around and say, Roman, I said this last week, but this week I'm coming and telling you this is what's happening? Could we end up seeing a triple threat between The Rock, Roman, and Cody? Maybe. Cam, you look like you're in super deep thought right now. And you are ready to say more, sir. Like, you look like you have so much to say. Let it loose, brother. Let it loose. Like, what do you want to say?
There's so much. Again, just going back to SmackDown, Cody's, I'm coming for Roman's title, but not at Mania. What in God's name does that mean? I hear you. You say that, he could do it in Madison Square Garden. Okay. I just feel like all of this should have culminated last year at WrestleMania. Do I like Roman's reign? Of course I do. I like everything Roman has done. I like the bloodline thing. I think the bloodline thing has done wonders because it's been the best storyline that we've had probably in some years.
20
years.
At least 20 years.
At least
15 if
But do I feel like it has run its course? Yes. I feel like a new regime is coming. Something new is coming. They've pretty much done all there is to do. Now, the Roman record thing. Yeah, I mean, but it's still not. It's just the record thing is a facade because all he would do is he would just move up another spot and inside the top 3, top 4, whatever it is.
Not even first place.
Exactly. The record is still Mr. Bruno Sammartino, and he's not seeing that.
I don't think anybody's ever going to catch that.
No.
I don't think anybody ever will.
Even if Roman does get the record, he still needs binoculars to see Bruno Sammartino. Like,
if they wanted to attempt the Bruno record thing, then they should have started it with Punk back in 2012, 2013 when he had the WWE Championship for over 400 days. That's when they should have started it, and Punk would have been champion to this day. and he would have been a little closer to Bruno's record.
There you go. But
Roman,
I don't know. It's just
I don't think Roman has it in him to go another. What would it be? 8 years?
no. He doesn't have that to go to. He doesn't have that in him to have that long of a reign. I don't think. I realistically don't even see him. I really don't even see him wrestling another 8 years. I don't.
No.
I think he's slowing way down.
Yeah.
And this title reign is as clear as day. Evidence of that. So.
Well, I'll say this. We're definitely going to have to see what happens. I mean, again, Cody didn't make his decision yet. I mean, it wasn't a clear-cut thing on Smack. I mean, obviously, actions do speak louder than words sometimes. Maybe that's their point of Cody introducing The Rock. That's the action. It's speaking louder than words.
Yeah.
So
and some of the reports that I've read too have just been very, very frightening. Dwayne has politicked his way into this match because he felt the need to save WrestleMania after, Brock Lesnar and CM Punk are not able to be at WrestleMania. It's very weird.
Okay, so we're getting
strange.
a hashtag. Don't skip Shadow's comment. So we're going to go over Shadow's comment.
That's
the title that Roman Roman's actual streak is attached to it is not the WWE title, not the title that Bruno and Hogan held, not the title that Dusty thought he won in MSG. It's the Universal title, which is less than 10 years old and was considered a consolation title when it was created. Roman has been WWE champion for 671 days. That's good for 6th longest reign, which makes Roman's reign the longest reigning loser bracket champion of all time. Just saying. So
I don't know about all that, but
I'm
not going to go there.
I get the point because he's held the Universal Championship since September of 2020.
Right.
Okay. He's held the WWE Championship since WrestleMania 37. 37 is when he won it in that title for title against Brock. So I get it. I understand there's the difference between the two titles. But their biggest argument, no, I don't. Anyways, their thing is now that the titles are combined, or 38, 38, 37, 36, whatever. He won the title at WrestleMania. He combined the championships at WrestleMania. And I think that's their point, is it's just one championship now. And they're overseeing is the Universal title over the WWE Championship because that's the title he held longer. So that's what they're taking. And the Universal title was considered a consolation prize back in 2016 when it came out. That's the same as the World Championship that came out in 2023 then. I do not.
What is happening in the chat?
I have no clue. Apparently I don't, but okay. But anyways, that's what they're building off of is his reign with the Universal title. And what do they consider their fans? The WWE Universe. The championship for the fans. Title that Roman's holding. That title overseen the WWE Championship because that was his longest. That's his longest reign with that championship. Now it's combined. There's a lot going on in the chat tonight.
I'm trying to read everything. It's wild.
I had a feeling tonight was going to start off hot. I did. We're 25 minutes in. And we didn't even touch Monday Night Raw yet. We didn't.
At all.
No. Because I knew this was going to open up discussion. Honestly, I mean, we could talk about Raw. We can all we want. But this seems like a better thing to discuss.
Yeah,
It does.
it's the number one topic right now
It is.
going around.
So if Punk had held the belt since 2012, like you said, he would have eclipsed the record in 2019. Okay, so yeah. So he would have beat the record by now. But that's the thing is, yeah, if Punk would have started his record, like I even said at the beginning, if they would have started, if anybody was going to break Bruno's record, they would have had to start the beginning of the show.
yo, I have seen the some of the wildest comments about my beard, but I have never seen more hashtag we want Cam's beard or hashtag Cam's beard more tonight than I ever have. Like y'all are wild.
We got hashtag equality for aliens, hashtag Cam's beard, hashtag apparently I hate I don't hate Canada, but apparently
I don't even know where that came from.
being accused because this was the thing is Shadow's comment came up while you were speaking, and I was letting you speak first before we came across the comment. So I was gonna get to the comment because it was a pretty interesting comment, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. See, look at this. See, Mike. Jesus.
Hashtag Mike grow a beard. Oh, Jesus.
Told you I had a feeling tonight was going to be hot, Cam. I said it. I said tonight's going to. We started off. Do you want to get into Monday Night Raw? Do you have more to say?
No, I'm done.
Okay. But we're going to have to see what happens moving forward. We're gonna. Because Cody realistically didn't make his decision yet. But again, actions do speak louder than words.
Realistically, we got to see what's going to happen with this press conference. I'm really curious.
Yeah. Yeah. And the press conference comes Thursday at 7 p.m. So
that's what it was. That's what it was for Twitter. Because I was thinking about dude, this has been on my brain the last couple of days. So I think that's what it was. I was thinking about Thursday with the press conference. So when I made, so for anybody that doesn't know in the chat what I'm talking about, I made this promotional thing for Twitter to get eyes on the product for tomorrow night NXT on tap, and I accidentally put Thursday instead of Tuesday. So I think that's what it was. Anyways.
Yeah, that kind of confused me because I was setting up the scroll on the bottom where you see the show showing up, and I was like, "So NXT on tap is on Thursday? What are you talking about? I was like, you seen the promotional thing on Instagram or whatever that you guys were doing the NXT on tap on Thursday? So I just got to change my scroll." I was super confused. I was. So, but like you said, Cam, we kicked off Raw with Seth Rollins coming out, and cutting a promo. One thing I need to bring up, and Jax brought this to the attention during our Raw watch along tonight. Does Seth Rollins own a mirror? You notice his pants and jacket didn't match?
When does this man match? Like he rarely matches.
Most of the time it matches. Most of the time he has a full-on, suit or whatever.
Like he just wears the most outlandish stuff.
Could you ever dress like that?
On a regular basis? No.
How could you ever feel comfortable dressing like that? I couldn't.
No.
I mean,
maybe if it was Halloween.
I could probably do it for Halloween.
Yeah.
I probably could. I'm not gonna lie. Probably Halloween, that would be it. I couldn't do it any other day. So, but he came out, cut a promo, called out Cody. Drew McIntyre came out in the middle of the promo with Cody. Seth Rollins pretty much saying like, hey, I told you about this championship last week. Even mentioned what Roman said on Friday. And then Drew McIntyre came out, stirred up the pot, attacked Seth. Cody tried to get at Drew, and that was the end of the promo. Accomplished absolutely nothing. Sad.
No, it didn't.
It didn't accomplish anything.
And like I said, and this is another thing I was I'm glad you said, we're talking about this opening promo.
Yeah.
Because it also reminded me too about if Punk is hurt and their money match, their big blockbuster match, which was scheduled to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins, then go to Drew and Seth. I mean, they already have something cooking with them anyways. And like I said, Drew is still owed that WrestleMania moment that he didn't get because during COVID there was no people when
No.
he won the title. So
But then you'll have people trying to say, "Oh, he had his shot against Bobby Lashley back at 37, but he didn't win. He lost." It's more so about the win in front of the crowd.
yeah.
So, but I feel like this really accomplished absolutely nothing. It didn't. It was an opening promo. Didn't do nothing. Decision still wasn't made. So, we move forward. We had the New Day, the Creed Brothers, DIY, and Imperium in a fatal four-way match. And the winner of this match would move on to Friday to take on Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne in a number one contendership match for the tag team championships. And DIY ended up getting the win on this one. This was a pretty good tag team match. A lot of good action. There was a little bit of a thing with the count at the end. A little bit of a questionable count at the end, because Johnny Gargano went to go for the pin. And here Tommaso Ciampa was the legal man. And he pushed Johnny Gargano off of, I believe it was Ludwig Kaiser, to get the pin. And the referee just kept counting. Didn't even stop. So, but DIY is going to move on to Friday night to take on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates for number one contendership to the tag team championships. I believe that the winner of that match will move on, I believe, to Perth for the tag titles or another episode of SmackDown. Wasn't really made clear. So, man, the chat is live tonight, man.
They are alive and well.
Ooh, we
Appreciate
appreciate you guys being here tonight. We
For
really
sure.
do. Oh my gosh.
But to your point, I think I'm assuming this match is going to take place at Elimination Chamber. Like the number one contenders for the tag titles. I think they're going to go and challenge at Perth, I believe. Judgment Day. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean,
Actually, yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm right. It's at
Yeah.
Perth because I already looked at the card, so it's at Perth.
makes sense.
Yeah.
To
So
have that match.
SmackDown will be the finals, and
Yeah.
then whoever wins that will go to Perth.
Yes. We then had a Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. This match kind of surprised me. I was like, why are they doing Shayna and Becky? And I understand it was a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. Becky ended up getting the win on this one. And I said it during the match. I was like, I hope Shayna wins this. Like, I like Becky, but I really hope Shayna wins this. The reason why is because if Becky wins, she's obviously in. If Shayna wins, we know Becky's still going to be in the Elimination Chamber. She's going to find a way in. So they could have very simply had Shayna Baszler win this match. Now, I have a feeling they're going to do some kind of like final qualifier match where they're going to have 5 and then take the 5 losers of the qualifying matches and have a final like fatal 5-way to determine the 6th person. I have a feeling they're going to do that. I mean, they have 2 weeks to do it. And it's going to be 3 from SmackDown, 3 from Raw. But maybe on the final episode of SmackDown, going into Perth, they do a fatal 5-way to determine. But your feelings on Becky or beating Shayna?
I mean, I'm not the biggest Becky person, but I feel like there's something building, a bigger story with Becky heading into WrestleMania. Well, Chamber, and then eventually WrestleMania. There's got to be, I would assume, because right now it just kind of seems like one of the title pictures is already kind of tied up, with Bayley and Io, and then Ripley obviously is going to have a match in Perth against Nia Jax. I'm not sure where her path takes her into Mania. I would assume it's probably going to lead to maybe Ripley and Becky or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, if you look at her reaction, if we take it back to January in the Rumble, her reaction after failing to win the Royal Rumble, it said it all. It told the story. Her body language, her demeanor told the story. So I think there's something building with Becky Lynch. Um, you know, I think it should be applauded that she's not afraid to take a back seat to let some other people shine right now. I mean, like I said, she was booked handsomely a few years ago. She was the man. She was Becky Two Belts. She was on top of the world, and she looked unstoppable. So it should be applauded that she's not afraid to take a back seat and let some other people shine. So I think right now, I think the mid card scene for her is where it's at. She's accomplished, pretty much everything right now. So I'm not really sure where they're gonna go with her in terms of a bigger story line right now. But Shayna Baszler, for me, like I said, I've kind of given up on Shayna Baszler. I've been, wanting them to push her and get her back to that beast that she was coming out of NXT some
Yeah.
years ago. A lot of people have, but I've kind of just given up on it. I think she's just going to be that company person, and they're going to use her when they really need her to put over another baby face. So other than that, I don't really think they have anything really planned or really big planned or lined up for Shayna Baszler. That's why they're putting her in this makeshift tag team with uh, Zoe Stark, because they don't really have anything else for her right now. So
Yeah, I've been saying it for a while. I would really like to see Shayna Baszler become basically the destroyer that she was becoming going into WrestleMania 36 when she was facing Becky for the title. I mean, I was in the arena that night for the Elimination Chamber when she just destroyed everybody. And I would love to get her, back to that. It would be nice to see her back to that. That's why I said I wish she would have won tonight and got her into the chamber. Now, again, they could do something to where they can get her back into the chamber. But I feel like at this point, having her lose tonight really just put her on the back burner. And, her and Zoe Stark, they're a phenomenal team. They are. They're a phenomenal team. And I like that team more than I do Shayna and Ronda. But we'll see. There was a little bit of a promo backstage. Liv Morgan said next week she's going to get her revenge on Rhea Ripley. Being out for 6 months, almost a year. And she's getting her revenge on Rhea Ripley. I like Liv Morgan. I like Rhea Ripley. Do you feel like Liv Morgan's going to get revenge on Rhea?
No, not immediately. I mean, if this is a part of her, sort of revenge tour, now that she's back, I mean, sure, it keeps her busy, gives her some kind of direction, I guess. But nah, not really. I mean, I personally, I think maybe the plan right now for Liv Morgan is she's probably going to go on to probably win the Elimination Chamber and probably challenge Rhea, maybe. I still say I still see it being Becky and Rhea at Mania, but I don't know. So unless Liv wins the chamber, I don't really see her getting her revenge on Rhea Ripley. Right, like right now, like you gotta think about it too. I love the way they're planning this out for, this is kind of off topic, but I love the way they're kind of planning out, Ripley's path to Perth, because obviously, normally she's the heel, right? But with Nia Jax making her the, I guess the underdog in this situation, her going into her hometown, country. So she's obviously going to be the odds-on favorite. So I like how they've kind of flipped the roles in that regard. And I think that's just more a reason why I think we're going to get Rhea Ripley slowly but surely starting to separate from the Judgment Day, because I really don't think she needs the Judgment Day. She can stand on her own 2 feet. She's just that great. She's been great. She was great all last year. She's been great ever since winning the championship. Like I said, she's on and dare I say Roman Reigns kind of run. Like they need to build up. They have to build up the rest of the roster just to catch up to just to climb the heights that Rhea has reached since being champion.
So we'll move forward. The Alpha Academy took on Ivar and Valhalla in a mixed tag match. Ivar and Valhalla won. Very short-lived match. Wasn't long. It was okay. It was good. Had a Judgment Day segment backstage. R-Truth thought last week was his initiation into the group. He thought his beatdown last week was his initiation into the Judgment Day. Came out during JD McDonough and the Miz's match and started throwing out t-shirts for free. That crowd was pretty lucky tonight. Whoever got a hold of one of those t-shirts. I mean, that's
who doesn't like free stuff?
That's a $30 shirt for free. You know? So, but the Miz ended up getting the win over JD McDonough. Not a bad match. I said that I see one of those GIFs, whatever you want to call it. So there's a video out there roaming around the internet. Okay. And in the video, I'll just put it this way. Somebody gets taken down to the ground and money flies out. And the title of the video said, you know, this person just got treated like a non-playable character, an NPC in GTA 5. Okay? And that was my first thought when I seen this. Because Truth handed JD McDonough a stack of money, sticked it in his trunks. The Miz did the skull-crushing finale. Money came flying out. He pinned him. He won. And I was like, okay, this fits that title too.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of see it coming. So maybe by tomorrow. Probably see it floating around somewhere tomorrow. If I knew how to create those, I'd probably do it. I would. So we had an Imperium promo going into the 10 o'clock hour. And 605 days, Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion. In about 2 minutes, it's going to be day number 606. Pretty much talked about his reign. Jey Uso then came out. Had words about their title reigns. And Gunther really took it. Really took it to Jey, saying like, hey, you had an impressive tag team title reign, but you only did 50% of the work. And Gunther saying, I did 100% of the work. And honestly, Gunther, I mean, most of his matches, if not all his matches, he's done on his own. Imperium, his guys have not gotten involved. He's done it on his own. But Jey Uso challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, not sure when it's going to happen. Maybe it's going to happen in Perth. Maybe it's going to happen at Mania.
I hope so.
Which one?
In Perth.
Okay.
Mania is for Jay and Jimmy, I'm hoping.
See, now that's one thing that me and you don't agree on. I don't want to see the Usos face each other at Mania.
I don't either, but the story, well, let me correct that. I originally didn't. But the story right now of the bloodline calls for it.
It fits.
You see what I'm saying? And they've said that they want it. That's like a dream match for them.
So now let me ask you this. We're going to backtrack to our conversation that started off the show. If Cody would be challenging Roman at Mania, would you be more on board of my theory that Jey Uso is like an inside spy to Raw to keep an eye on Cody until Mania? Because remember how I said I feel like Jey is like an inside spy on Raw to keep an eye on Cody leading up to Mania with Cody and Roman? And then ultimately Jey goes back to the bloodline before like a week before Mania?
Oh, you did say that.
I did.
Okay.
Do you feel a little more on board with that now if it would have been Cody and Roman? I mean, it still could happen.
I mean, it's possible. See, I was on the opposite side of the spectrum of that. See, when I guess Jimmy's way back into the bloodline for me, like the way it started out, he started out like kind of like this like court jester kind of person. Like he's in the bloodline, but he's not seriously in the bloodline. Like he's not 100% behind Roman, and he's just biding his time to turn on Roman and then ultimately get his shot at the championship. That's originally how I saw this going. That's kind of what I kind of what I think about the R-Truth and Judgment Day thing. Like I don't think R-Truth he's realistically behind Judgment Day. He's really just trying to drive a wedge between them, some kind of way, some kind of way, and then we're gonna get a more serious R-Truth, but maybe that's not the case. But
So we're gonna pause the show for a second because it is midnight on the East Coast, and we got a special birthday. It is the Ginger Ninjas Jax Bose himself's birthday, and to join us here on the table spot to sing Jax happy birthday, we welcome in the Will Gray, Jax, and Scowls.
what is going on?
You guys ready? You ready?
Extremely high right now, sorry.
We are going to sing to Jax for his birthday. So
3.
1 and 2 and
Happy birthday to you, Jax. Happy birthday to you, Jax. Happy birthday, Jax, Jax, Jax. Happy birthday, Jax.
to you.
HBD.
Jax. Jax. You
What
suck.
is happening?
I know I do suck. I have evidence that Kurt Angle himself told me personally I suck.
Jax, you suck. That's the truth. It's damn true.
Damn truth. I'm proud
Happy
of that.
birthday, Bubba.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Jax.
Birthday, Jax.
I was like, we just wanted to come over here. I'm leaving now. We're going back to our other section.
Oh,
All right, I'll send a new session link.
Oh, that's right. We can go into that. So can
Yeah.
we hang out here until he sends us a new sessions link?
Sure.
I don't want to feel lonely.
Oh, we got one more. Oh, keep
I
us.
feel like me and Cam are bonding.
Hey, Daddy. Happy birthday.
Ooh.
God.
Ooh, thank you. I like it.
No, you can go back to the other session link. It's still open.
Sweet. All right. Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Say hi. Bye.
Later. Oh man.
Good Lord. This is the people we work with, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you about this earlier before we started that we were going to be.
No, you're good, bro.
serious.
I'm used to it by now. Like they're just random for the sake of being random. So
It's fun though. It's a lot of fun. It really is. It's great. It's a nice little laugh. Well, big laugh.
absolutely.
So, oh man, but yeah, Jey Uso challenging Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Not sure when this is going to happen. Like you said, you hope it happens in Perth. I kind of do too. I still feel like if we do end up getting Cody and Roman, because if the fans making the push for Cody to challenge Roman ultimately at WrestleMania, and we see it happen almost like a Daniel Bryan-esque type deal from WrestleMania 30, and we get it, then I'm sticking to my words and saying that Jey Uso is an in to keeping an eye on Cody. My brain, man, it just tells me something. It does. It just tells
Wait,
me
Jay or Jimmy?
Jey, because Jay's on Raw.
I thought Jimmy was
So-
wrong.
No, Jay's on Raw. Jimmy's on SmackDown.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Jimmy's no yeet, and Jay's yeet.
That part I know. Yeah. That much I do know.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. But Jey Uso going after the Intercontinental title. What if they did that? What if Jay was the one to dethrone Gunther, and then they went ahead with the Usos facing at Mania, and it was for the Intercontinental Championship?
I mean,
just to kind of make that match a little more meaningful.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can make it more meaningful the first time around. Like I said again, I think this storyline of the of the bloodline and the Usos splitting up
Yeah.
and picking their sides right now. I think just the integrity of that alone
Mhm.
is much more important than a championship right now. Like they're above that. Like do the first time no title, them it's just the brother against brother. That story alone is just it stands on its own.
Yeah.
It's strong. Then if you want to have then you have that match, have them separate, do their own thing, don't have them remotely anywhere near each other for the next 6 months or whatever. Then have Jay, boom, he dethrones Gunther or whoever is Intercontinental champion at that time. Boom, we make a full circle back to the Usos one-on-one. This time for the IC title, I wouldn't mind that because this time you need something to enhance the second time around.
Like
saying?
SummerSlam have that second match.
Exactly.
This time for the Intercontinental title.
Exactly.
I'd be aboard for it. I'm for it. I am. I'm not disagreeing with the whole non-title match first round. Not because it does have the meaning.
Right.
And the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam being on the line would be that boost. I like it. We had a Shinsuke Nakamura vignette. He pretty much talked about the bull rope match that was happening on the main event. Then the women's tag team titles were on the line. The Kabuki Warriors took on Katana and Chance. Kabuki Warriors walked out with the titles, retained. It's a pretty good match. Wasn't bad. My question is how many times is Katana and Chance going to go after the tag titles?
They're Go ahead, Mike.
It seems like they're going after them at least once a month. That's what it feels like.
Or once a week.
Yeah.
But no, they're basically Carter and Chance are basically like the new they're like the new DIY essentially. Like DIY is finally starting to get over. They're starting to get a reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
Carter and Chance is just like, yeah, they're a good tag team, but it's just like, the fans are kind of sitting there, wanting or wondering like, what else? What else are we getting from them? There's really no they've got a little they got a little personality, but there's really no character development at all for people to really be invested. There's no investment in this tag team. They're just a good tag team for the sake of being a good tag team. It's great that they can put on decent matches, but fans just don't want to see decent matches. They want to see something that we can get behind, catchphrases or t-shirts and something like that they can go, okay, that's cool, that's hip, we can clamor to that. We can hook on to that. That's something to sink our teeth into. Right now, it's just like they're just a good tag team, and that's it.
Like yeet.
Exactly. Like it's something as simple as that. The what chance, the yes chance, like that's something that people can connect to.
Yeah.
Carter and Chance don't have that right now. So
no. And I mean, eventually they're going to win the tag titles. They got to. I mean, if they're getting as many chances as they are at them, I mean, they eventually got to put them belts on them.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then find a new tag team to challenge. I think that's their big issue right now, though, is there's really no tag teams to challenge. None.
Not really.
Because you got the Kabuki Warriors, you got Katana and Chance. Who else do you have? Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
The what is it? The Unholy Alliance or whatever they are. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
Yeah. Natalia and what's her name? Freaking Gargano's wife's ex-partner or whatever.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm drawing a blank.
Or not her ex-partner.
Unholy Union. Yeah.
Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox, yeah. Unholy Union. Yeah, thank you, Scouse.
Thank you, Scouse. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and then I think they've got Baszler and Starks, and that's pretty much about it.
I wouldn't mind seeing Baszler and Starks winning the tag belts. I think they're my favorite women's tag team. I think they're my favorite women's tag team right now in WWE. I'm behind them.
I like Unholy Union. I just feel like they just It just works. I can't explain it. Like their chemistry is just great. It's the same chemistry as oh god, I'm not gonna MK Ultra from TNA.
Okay. Yeah. I
It's
know
the
who you're
same,
talking-
it's the same, you know what I mean? Same kind of chemistry with the whole dark gimmick. So
Chelsea and Piper.
Chelsea
tag
and
team.
Piper. Yep. So,
But-
and I'm not even crazy about the Kabuki Warriors having the tag team titles. Like, yeah, it's fine right now for the said storyline being told with Damage Control, but I mean, it's just it doesn't really like it doesn't really feel like it's. Remember when I was saying about AEW's tag teams and Ricky Starks and
Yes.
Big Bill being champions?
Yes.
While I'm okay with them being champions, it doesn't feel like a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
Personally, I want to see Asuka versus Kairi Sane. I don't really care to see them as a tag team. I've seen it already. A feud between them, I think, would be fire.
I mean, we've been wanting to see that since the last time they had the tag titles back when they lost them at WrestleMania 36 to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
Exactly.
You know, very first match of WrestleMania that year inside the training facilities.
Yeah.
At the PC. So, and that's the last time they held those belts. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But that's that we've been wanting to see that match since then. And wasn't too long after that, you know, Asuka got the women's title handed to her from winning Money in the Bank because of Becky going out. And I believe Kyrie was still there at that time. They did nothing with it. And then not too far long after, Kyrie was gone. It's released. So we'll see. We had a Sami Zayn interview. A little emotional. You know, Sami Zayn pretty much talking about how he where he was at last year opposed to where he's at this year. He felt more so like an underdog back then, but now he feels like he can be in the main event picture, you know, up there with a lot of the top stars and everything. And he could. He's definitely got the talent.
Sami Zayn and Rollins. That's another option.
That is.
I don't see why not.
But did you I want to ask this. Sami Zayn's last heel run, before he joined along with the Bloodline, he was Intercontinental Champion. You know, this was around 2020, around that time. Did you feel confident about that as a fan? Were you behind it? The whole thing he was doing back then when he was a heel?
Assuming you're talking about when he was like paranoid, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean initially no. You know, that was around the time when he started donning a new look. You know, he let his beard grow out a little more, started getting long hair. So initially I wasn't really behind it at first because it just looked directionless. Like it didn't really look like they just didn't have a game plan. But when I started seeing some of the and this might have been later down the line, but when he started to you know, come up with these unique ways to win matches, I was like, oh, that's different. That's something I can get behind because that's something I had never seen a heel do. Like one match I think I seen him do, he like tied somebody up for a pin and pinned him. I was like, yeah, that's unique. Like I like it.
He handcuffed Jeff Hardy's ear to a ladder. Through Jeff Hardy's gauged ear. And I'm going to say this. Okay? Now, my left ear is gauged to a size 4 or 6. So it's a little smaller than what Jeff's is. Okay? It doesn't hurt. And I'm just sitting here when I seen that. And not to down, you know, Jeff Hardy or anything, acting like it's hurt. But I was like, dude, why are you acting like it hurts? It doesn't hurt. Like, I could sit here all day and literally do this. And it's like, it doesn't hurt. But I mean, kudos to Jeff for selling it. Yes. Yes. It's not like the ladder was hanging from his ear. It was just.
Yeah, that'd be worse.
He was laying down.
Yeah.
He was just handcuffed to it from his ear. But, oh. And we got to the main event, the bull rope match between Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. I'll definitely say this. This was the match of the night. Waited 3 hours to get to the match of the night. There was a huge different feel between Raw last week and Raw this week. Now, I understand Raw last week was the Raw after Rumble. I get it. You know, after big pay-per-views, the Raws and SmackDowns are going to be huge. You're going to get big things happening. And then you just move forward to the next thing. I'm not saying this was a bad Raw, but it wasn't as interesting as last week. There was a lot of good action last week. A lot. Not saying there wasn't good action this week, because there was. There was. And I'm not taking anything away from any superstars that were in the ring tonight because they put their work in, you know, and I know I would never be able to do it. Even if I was 100% healthy, didn't have the back problems that I have, I probably still wouldn't be able to do it. Kudos to them. But it really wasn't that there wasn't that excitement factor. You know what I mean? Like they
Right.
accomplished what they wanted to accomplish for tonight. The Bull Rope match was cool. They built it off of something that happened at a house show over the weekend. But I thought we got away from Shinsuke and Cody 3 weeks ago. And here we have Shinsuke attacking Cody backstage at a house show to have a Bull Rope match on Raw. Why? Why? Hopefully this is the end, though. The next time I would like to see Cody and Shinsuke take each other on. And I know this is kind of cliche-ish to say, but make it meaningful and have something on the line, you know? Like the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. But...
Yo, that's crazy. That's wild. I like it. I like it. I like how you snuck that in there. That's crazy. Wow.
But Cam, we're going into hour number 2 here on the table spot. We got through hour number 1 pretty quick, and we got through Raw pretty quick. Even with our first half hour of the discussion we had, got through Raw. We did. But now it's time for the news that's floating around the internet throughout the past week. Stuff, some discussions that I can pull together here that we could talk about and you know, pretty much give our take on. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody to head over to Rivet City Radio and Off Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit the follow button, subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Check out all the great content going on the networks. Also head over to patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. Check out all the great content going on over there. And on the networks here tomorrow, a little bit of a broadcasting note. NXT on tap. Following NXT tomorrow night. You guys go live about what, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Around that time. You guys hit that live button. And then on Wednesday night, it's me, you, and Phil on the Boom. Right after AEW Dynamite, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday, their new time, same place. Nerdy News at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Nerdy News. Right here on Rivet City Radio's Twitch and Off the Top Media's YouTube channel. So, Cam, our first subject of the night, the undisputed champion. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell, Mike? What is this about? Well, speaking of the World's Heavyweight Championship and the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, there was a news thing that came out. And there has been some talks, apparently, in WWE that they could be planning for Cody to, at some point, maybe around SummerSlam, to unify the two world titles and turn it back into one. Go back to the one world title concept. Now, this is the first one I'm bringing up tonight because of our discussion to kick off the show. I felt it was fitting. So the question is how do we get there? Because we don't even know who the fuck Cody's facing. There hasn't been a decision. And like I said, actions are louder than words sometimes. Yeah. No pun to LA Knight. But your thoughts on this, Cam? The possibility of Cody unifying the two world titles, becoming one.
I like it. You know, if You know, they don't really need 2 world titles. They just don't. Um, dare I even say I don't really think they need 2 brands. Just well, currently 3 brands, but they could just use just 2 brands, just have Raw and SmackDown kind of just be their, own thing without a brand split, without a, draft and brand split, things like that. And then their second like active brand or whatever show would be NXT. 2 brands, that's it. Keep it like that. They don't need 3 brands. And like I said, it'll just benefit the division as a whole. It'll up the prestige, 1 world title, and then obviously it'll help the mid card title out. So it'll just spread some people out. And I mean, I said the same thing about the tag team titles. I thought they could just fuse the tag team titles and just use 1 tag team title. So if they do this move, that's what they should do with the tag team titles. If you have 1 world title, you don't really need 2 sets of tag team titles. So if you ask me, there's no need to split the tag team titles. Just unify them. So I like this move. If this is the plan, how do we get there? Again, they're probably going, again, depending on what happens Thursday, February 8th, with the press conference and the whole announcement on what the main event is going to be for I would assume night 2 of WrestleMania 40. It's probably going to be a lot more potholes on this path to get Cody back to where he needs to be and win the championship. So we'll see.
So I'm going to bring something up. Okay. And as I'm writing down here, so I have my thing. Let's go back. Let's go way back into the time machine. 1990s, late 90s, okay? I'm going to add 1 more person to my list just to kind of verify this. Okay? We had 1 world championship back then. The surrounding superstars. The Rock. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kurt Angle. Kane. The Undertaker. Chris Jericho. Triple H. And for the sake, before he went out, Shawn Michaels. Could maybe add Bret Hart in there. Mid-90s. 1 world title. About 10 guys surrounding that title. Okay? We have 2 world titles right now. Roman and Seth are the champions. These are the guys surrounding it. Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre. You can probably safely say Randy Orton. He could be in the picture. And AJ Styles. Why do you need 2? You don't have many guys. Like, you look at it, Cody, Raw. Seth, Raw. Drew, Raw. That's 3 guys on Raw. Roman, Orton, Styles, SmackDown. So if you have 1 world champion and you keep your brand split, you have 3 challengers on SmackDown, 2 on Raw if a Raw guy wins it, and vice versa. You can build storylines and keep it going with 1 world title, even if you have the brand split. You don't need the brand split, just like you said. But I've been saying it for so long. We don't need 2 world titles. We don't need 2 women's championships. We don't need 2 tag titles. The only championships they've been consistent with is the tag titles. Ever since the Usos unified those tag belts, they've been unified. They've not split them. We just haven't gotten new belts yet. They've just kept the red and blue straps.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, after WrestleMania, we can get some new belts. I'm for it if they have Cody unify these belts. I am. I'll say this. I'd be for it if Roman did it too. And this is what I mean. I'm going to stick to my story and what I started off the show with. And that is Roman wins at Mania. Seth wins at Mania. They face at SummerSlam. Roman wins, unifies the belts. Cody doesn't have to do it. The main objective is Cody getting to Roman and beating Roman. MSG, SmackDown, October, first episode. Cody wins. Cody doesn't even need to unify him. Have the guy that you have as your longest reigning world champion right now do it. Why not? Because again, I feel like Cody does it, and within 6 months, you're going to start hearing the boo birds a little bit. And I don't want that for Cody. I want Cody to get the loud crowd pops. Not because I'm a Cody fan, but I don't want to see him start getting those boo birds. I don't. I want to see him continuously getting the cheers. But pretty much what was said was Cody could win the world title sometime before SummerSlam, face the winner of Rock Roman at SummerSlam to unify the two belts. That's pretty much what they're looking at. That's what was in the article. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what their decision is. So our next topic, and we're going to stick around the whole Rock conversation since we're in that realm. And this one's Russo knows. Now, you guys might know a gentleman with the last name Russo. It's pretty famous, pretty well known. And he had a little bit of a comment about The Rock coming back and going to be at WrestleMania. He mentioned that he said that The Rock is a diversion for WrestleMania. Could you see it? Could you see it being a diversion?
I mean, after the all of the and I don't even know if I'm even allowed to say this guy's name around these parts, but after the whole VKM, let's just call him that, VKM scandal and things that came out, all the heinous acts that came out about him.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people were talking about that and not about the current WWE in-ring product. So I could see how they wanted to drop a pipe bomb, no pun intended, and get fans talking, whether it be negative or positive, and get it to focus back on the in-ring product and not the outside distractions. So I mean, I could see it. Again, and I know my frustrations, and I know I was pissed off about it earlier, and still am, rightfully so. But there is still room for course correction. They could easily disguise this as some kind of a work, and I guess do a triple threat. Like I said, this is basically the Yes Movement 2.0. This is the Daniel Bryan situation 2.0. You got to think about it. As wrestling fans, we have a voice. We are no longer considered a voiceless. We don't need somebody to claim that they are the voice of the voiceless, as CM Punk once dawned on himself. So we definitely have a voice, and when we use it, the company, well, some of the times listens. And that the whole reason why that triple threat happened at WrestleMania 30 all those years ago was because we voiced our displeasure for them not having the then People's Champion Daniel Bryan in the Rumble and having him be the one to challenge Randy Orton at WrestleMania 30. So that's why we got that. And if you ask me, that was probably one of the best and probably most satisfying endings of a WrestleMania in the past probably 10 years. So could they do something like that again? Could we see lightning strike twice? Could we see a repeat? Could we see deja vu happen? It is very possible. Is this all a diversion? It is very possible as well.
I agree with that. I do, because like you said, with everything that came out a little over a week ago, it could be their version of some type of positivity in their light. With the cloud that's covering up, like pretty much hanging over. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but I could see it, them trying to kind of bring the positivity note of it, because they know, you hear that, if you smell, the crowd's going to pop. It just so happens that, it's happening at a very crucial time. It's WrestleMania season. Cody won the Rumble for a second time in a row. And a lot of fans that are not aboard for the Roman reign. We're happy about this. I mean, and again, the question lied ever since last year. How is Cody going to get back to Roman? That was the question from April of last year to now, to since the Royal Rumble. And then we got down to Punk and Cody. And that's how. Now, there's the detour because of everything that happened. I see it. It's a good point. I thought of this while you were giving your input on this. And I want to know if you would be okay with this as a fan. And this is really stupid of me to bring up. It is. I already know the words that are going to come out of my mouth are fucking stupid. But I'm going to say them because I want to ask you this question and how you would feel. If this match were to happen and it ends up being a triple threat, Cody, Rock, Roman. Okay, Cody's specific words were, I want to take everything from you. But not at WrestleMania. What if it ends up happening at WrestleMania? In a triple threat, we see Cody do Crossroads. Roman gets up, Rock hits the rock bottom. Rock tells Cody, now pin him. Cody takes the title.
I mean, hey, justice is served, I guess.
Would you feel comfortable with that as a fan, though? Like
I
I said,
mean,
I knew these words coming out of my mouth were going to be fucking stupid, but I had to bring it up.
I mean, I don't. It's a unique ending for sure.
Mhm.
But I don't think so. Because you gotta think about it. You can actually play off of that, right? Because then the next night you can easily transition to Rock and Roman one-on-one.
Mhm.
Because Roman can come out and solely blame The Rock for why he lost the title and say, oh, it was unfair. It was a 2-on-1 situation. You were never really in the match. You just wanted to gang up on me with Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
I'm still the head of the table with or without the title. I made that title. That's my title. Rock goes, you're not the head of the table anymore. I am. Rock, Roman, head of the table.
So night number 1, Cody, Rock, Roman. Cody walks out champion. Roman's pissed. Rock, Roman, night number 2, main event. Head of the table on the line.
There you go.
There it is. Do you think we may have just solved the WrestleMania ordeal?
I think so. I think so.
I mean, I'll take a 60% off. I'll take a 60% yes right now because we don't have our answers yet. But it's a pretty comfortable situation. Because the other thing is too, yeah, the next question would lie is, well, what about Seth? Drew McIntyre? Drew and Seth?
That's what I said earlier.
There it is. Drew and Seth for the world title. Bam. Sadly enough, I feel like it would still. I still feel like it would hurt Cody a little bit. I agree with what I said, and you feel comfortable with it, but I also feel comfortable with my first initial thought of protecting Cody and Roman until at least October. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Russo actually does make a point on this. It does. It's being a diversion. As my dog's talking. She agrees too. So, we're very Rock and Cody heavy tonight
Yes.
on this episode. And our next title is between a Rock and a Hard Place. Sticking with the Rock.
I love the title. I love that title.
Because, and this is the thing, is when I pull these articles, when I read these news things, these are not the titles of the. I'm not stealing somebody's headline, and I'm pretty much, pulling this stuff together and putting them in my own words, so we can, discuss them here and everything like that. So, but this is more of a statistical type of thing because of the fact Perth is coming up in 2 weeks. Could we possibly see Roman come out and say, like, The Rock hasn't earned it? Possibly. If they know the direction is Rock and Roman at Mania, and say The Rock comes out on Friday night and says, hey, last week was our face-off. Now I'm telling you, I'm coming for you at WrestleMania. Say that happens. And Roman says, well, you didn't earn it. You need to get to the back of the line. All that stuff. The Rock has never competed in an Elimination Chamber. What pay-per-view do we have coming up in 2 weeks?
Elimination Chamber.
And wouldn't it be a little good for the man that's part of the board that's coming back into the ring to go over to Perth as a promotional thing and get in the ring? He can earn his way. And he doesn't even need to come in before being he could be number 6. He'd be the last guy out of a pod. And they can even have it to where there's only one person standing left in that chamber for it to be a one-on-one. Doesn't have to worry about another person being in there. Ultimately comes down to 2 people, The Rock and whoever else is in it. And then The Rock can earn it that way. Because here's the thing is people say, like, you look at him, like, then again, you have the people on the internet like, oh, look at The Rock and look how he's breathing and stuff when he comes down. Why is he doing that? He's so in shape. But there's a difference between being in shape and being in ring shape. It's a totally different monster. This would be his way to kind of knock the rust off a little bit and start getting into the ring shape. So how would you feel about The Rock competing in his first Elimination Chamber in Perth?
I mean, in a perfect world, I think that would be a sound solution. If this was 2002, 2003 Hollywood Rock, he was still relatively, still a part of the business.
Young, in-ring shape, all that stuff. Yes.
Right. Then it would be a sound strategy. However, being who he is now, the Hollywood star, on the TKO board, a part of the UFL, I don't think his pride is going to allow him to step inside said structure and risk injury. I just don't think that's going to happen. Nor I just don't think I think he would probably look at said match as beneath him, because it's just something that I don't think he'd be willing to work. And even if he was willing to work, I think he would have needed to start prepping probably back in like November. He would need to be like hitting the ring hard to get ready for a said match like that. You know what I mean? I think the shape he's in right now is short prep. He's probably, I don't know how much in-ring training he's really done with his schedule, but I think he's done enough to be ready by April. So
I kind of want to look something up real quick because I'm kind of curious on something. And as I do my research here, I will say, as you mentioned, the whole like in shape for the Elimination Chamber, he doesn't necessarily have to go outside and touch the structure. He can stay in between the ropes and just keep it in ring. Now I'm sure they build that ring a little bit more stabler than it already is, because I mean the structure realistically isn't connected to the ring, but I'm sure they have to stabilize that ring a little more so that there's no movement, so it doesn't press against the structure. I'm sure there's a strategy to it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen the structure in person, and I mean, I'll say this: in person, the structures it looks bigger on TV. It really does. In person, it looks a lot smaller. So, but what I'm doing is I'm doing my research on something here, and he has a couple of upcoming things in 2024. Okay, um, Fast X Part 2, San Andreas 2, uh, Red 1, Breaking Olympia, the Phil Heath story. And then, well, Fast X Part 2 is in 2025. So he's, in filming with that unless the rumors are true where they finished filming that back when they did Part 1. But it says pre-production here. So they're in pre-production for that. And then Moana 2, which is obviously voiceover work, because it's animated. But that's his acting stuff coming up. So I think you're right on that. Did he have enough time to really get in ring shape? I think you got a good point on that. Because even though that's a short list of stuff to work on, it's still a heavy schedule. It is. What did I say? 3 things in 2024. I X'd out of the screen. I'm not going to go back into it. But 3 things in 2024, 2 things in 2025. And in 2024, midway through, you start working on that stuff for 2025 to make sure it hits its release, to clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up in order for the release of the year it's supposed to come out. So it's a lot of work. It is. It really is. So we're going to move on to we're going to stay into this subject. And I know, again, this is a lot. Cody, Rock, Roman, this is a lot. But this is titled, There Goes the Money. Yeah, I know. I know the play. I know what people are thinking. No, this doesn't have to do with Shane. This has to do with Cody. And we brought it up a little earlier. Fans are pissed about everything that's going on, obviously, to the point where people are demanding their money back for the money they spent on Cody merch during Rumble weekend. Not only in person, but online. And for the Cody merch after the Rumble. So, Cam, my question for you is if you purchased Cody merch during Rumble weekend, whether present or online, and then purchased Cody merch before Friday, would you be asking for your money back?
I don't know about that. I think that's a little bit extreme because to me, I think that kind of does the opposite of said frustration. It doesn't really send the message. To me, it kind of sends the message of you guys are sick of or upset with Cody Rhodes, not upset with the decision that Dwayne could be interjecting and taking Cody Rhodes' spot at Mania. So that's a bit confusing. So I don't think I would do that. If anything, I would probably be wearing my Cody Rhodes merch even more now in support of Cody Rhodes to get the message across that we don't want The Rock and that we do and truly do want Cody Rhodes. So,
do you feel like within the next, hell, even 24 hours, do you feel like we're going to get a hashtag We Want Cody shirt? Do you think we'll get it?
oh man, yeah, if we do, it's going to be sold out. And if something like that releases in 24 hours, it'll be sold out by the end of the day. I guarantee it. We Want Cody was trending for what, 72 hours? It's gonna take further to less time for them shirts to sell out. I guarantee it.
Since Friday night when SmackDown went off the air,
Crazy.
that's when We Want Cody, I believe, started trending. And it's been trending ever since.
Wild.
I
So
mean,
we get a hashtag We Want Cody shirt. I can guarantee you, it's not going to be on the merch shop for very long.
so I'm there is a piece of merch that I just seen that kind of I want to see if it's a confirmational thing or if it's a pass thing. So SmackDown was in Birmingham this past week, correct? No.
Was it in
Yeah,
Birmingham?
yeah, it was in
Okay.
Birmingham because this week they're in Charlotte. Never mind. So there's a shirt available that says finally The Rock has come back to Birmingham. So yeah, there's a shirt for The Rock coming back at Birmingham. Yeah, they were in Birmingham on Friday. So I just wanted to confirm that because I thought maybe, this is a shirt for people to get for Friday. But they're in Charlotte, North Carolina on Friday. As far as the Cody merch thing, I don't own a piece of Cody merch. I've been wanting to get myself a Cody shirt since his AEW days. I have. But I haven't. Funds necessarily don't fall my way as of late. Past couple years hasn't been easy to purchase things that I always want. So a Cody shirt is definitely on my probably on my birthday list come July. I know I got a long way to go. But it's on my birthday list. Maybe Father's Day list. Maybe I can get the kid to buy me a Cody shirt for Father's Day.
You
gonna
gotta
start
wear it
out-
on stream now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna write out a one-person petition to my kid saying, like, hey, this person wants you to buy me a Cody Rhodes shirt off of WWE shop. And she's gonna see my name on the list. She's gonna be like, but you're the only person on here. I said, yeah, this is what I want for Father's Day. But I need it now. It's the thing. Because
It's important now.
it's a very important situational matter in the world of being a part of not only the WWE universe, but the IWC of it all. And,
This is the thing. No matter what side of the spectrum you're on, whether you are for wanting to see Rock and Roman
50
or
right
you
now.
want to see Cody and Roman, the thing I can appreciate, right, is the fact that normally the IWC is kind of at war with each other. They kind of nitpick certain things about the product and things like that.
Yeah.
But Cody Rhodes has the power, because he's so over right now, to unify everyone. And everyone wants that same thing. Crazy. It's wild.
I mean, I'll say this. I don't. There's certain things that I see pop up on my social media feed that I will involve myself in. But then there's certain things that I don't. And then there's certain things that I'll see and I'm like, I'll start writing a comment, or I'll actually write the comment and submit it, but 2 minutes later go back and delete it because I'm like, I really don't feel like getting into a pissing contest with this person. Because I'm not sitting here saying I can read people, but I get like certain, I guess, feeling like
Sort
the
of
feeling
vibes.
of- Yeah, there we go. The word vibes. There we go. We'll go with the word vibes. I get certain vibes from certain people that post things on social media, and I'm like, if I get in a pissing contest with this person, they're just going to sit there and think they're always fucking right anyway. So you know what? You're not getting through to them. Not. Even if you're just trying to make a point. Like, voice your opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter. That's how I feel. I'm probably like the quietest person. Yeah. Me and you probably split those surges. I mean, here's the thing is you know, and if you guys check out Cam's Wrestling Corner, I'm telling you, his videos are fucking fire. They are. Check it out. I'm waiting for the day for you to turn that into a full-fledged like half-hour thing that you put on like YouTube or something. I am. I'm waiting.
That's the dream right there, bro.
I'm waiting for the day. And I'm saying this right now. If you accept me to be a part of it, sir, I'd be more than honored. Like, it'd be much appreciated. Because the work that you do on your Wrestling Corner is fucking amazing. And I'm not just saying that. But I'm probably one of the quietest people. Like, I probably should voice my opinion, but I just don't want to get in pissing contests with somebody who thinks they're always fucking right. I don't.
I completely understand that. When I started being on TikTok, and I started talking wrestling and things like that. I have my family, like my mom, my dad, extended family who've always known me to be very reserved. Maybe even some may even say standoffish or just quiet. Throughout the years, as I've gotten older, I've slowly come out of my shell. I'm not really a big people person. I'm just not. Like I like I can be in a room of people that I really really know and really really connect with and talk all day long. Because
Yeah.
those are the people those are the people that I rock with. Those are my friends, my family, whatever. But then outside of that, it's just like I don't really. I go just like how you were saying. I go based off people's vibes. I go based off of. I would like to think I'm a really good judge of character. Meeting someone even for the first time. So if they give off a certain energy, I'm just like I don't think I'm gonna like this person.
Yeah.
Immediately. But if they give off um I don't know a brighter energy, a friendlier, welcoming energy, I'm like okay, maybe I'll actually really really connect with this person, no
Yeah.
matter who it is, So, but when I started TikTok and things like that, and I got to, I really zoned in on something that I was passionate about, which is professional wrestling, and started talking about this and giving my opinions and breaking down matches and characters and storylines and things like that. A lot of my extended family and things like that, even people that I work with, were just like, "Where'd this come from? Like, who is this person?" Because we never heard you talk this much ever. I talk more on here than I do in my personal life. I don't
Same.
talk that much.
Same.
So
I'm the same way. Like, I'm one of those people that if I go out in public, like, for example, if I need to go shopping somewhere, I will have it in the back of my mind, like, this is what I need to get in, get up, get out. That's it. I don't spend hours in a place looking around. So, like, okay, so if, say I go to, like a Walmart, okay? This is an example. I take my one dog with me. My other dog, he's a little skittish in the car. So, like, he'll hang out at home with my parents and everything. I'll take my oldest dog with me because she's a little more chill. Like, I could take her into places. She'll be sitting in the cart and nobody even knows she's there. That's how quiet and calm she is. Okay. But I'll go to Walmart and I always go in, get my stuff. I always make it a point to go back to the toy section, look at the wrestling action figures. 2 minutes, out. I'm out of there. I get my shit, go look in the toy section. I'm out of there. That's it. And I'm the same as you. Like, I'm very, like, confined to myself. But then when it comes to things like talking about pro wrestling or sports, I try to promote Rivet City Radio Office Top Media as much as I can to have people come and not only watch shows that I'm a part of, but shows that are here so people can come watch and hear our points of views. You know what I mean? And believe me, I've had people that I've known for years say to me, you know, we used to talk about this here, and now ever since you've been doing, like, you know, you want to be a friend, come support your friend. I support you. Come support me. But you want to hear my thing? I'm saving all my ammo for here. Bottom line. I'll talk about certain things, but if I have my mind set on something to bring here, I'm going to bring it here first.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
But I kind of lost what I was saying. But yeah, you get me in a room of people that I know and I'm familiar with, obviously, and they know me or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna be normal, talking like how I am now, right?
I'm the
You
same.
get you get me in a room full of just strangers,
Yeah.
and it's like panic mode sets in because I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
Anxiety,
You know what I mean?
Anxiety level 12, not even 10, 12.
Through the roof,
Yes.
100. Anxiety level 100. It's nerve wracking for me. I don't like it. Now, I'm the opposite of you when it comes to online about wrestling opinions and things like that. Now, sometimes I try to be mindful of what I say or how I interact with certain people that may disagree with me. You should see some of the stuff that's left on in my comment section on my wrestling corner. Like, people are just like, "Oh, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about." Da da da.
I scroll through your comment section.
And sometimes I just kind of like, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that. Sometimes I try to be, I try to be like snarky, and I'm just like, "Oh, hey, thanks for the view anyways." And just leave it at that. Other times it's something so outlandish. I'll put it on Twitter and I'll just be like, this guy really tried to tell me, this, and this, and I'm wrong because this, and this. Sometimes I'll respond to him and we'll just go back and forth in a war. And then at some point I have to stop myself and just go, okay, there's no convincing this person that what I'm trying to say is just this is my opinion. This is my page. I can say how I, what I want to say. If I have something to say about the product, a wrestler, if I don't like this, and this, I'm not afraid to say it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not afraid to, criticize said wrestler or whatever for their, in-ring stuff or whatever, because I'm not really judging their personal lives. Like, some of these people, they'll live on the internet and they're just like, oh well, such and such person has 4 kids with such. I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm busy living my own life. Like, that's great and fine and dandy, and I wish him nothing but the best in his personal life. That's great. He might be a great person. He or she might be a great person in real life. Da da da. Cool. But I'm here to break down and discuss creative storylines, who they portray on my screen, their in-ring work, da 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 da. It's nothing personal against them as people. I don't care nothing about that. But I only care about what's on my TV screen and my wrestling programming.
I mean,
they take it personal. They take it like, oh man, you have no right to have an opinion and things. And it's like,
see, and that's why I always try and put out there that, the great thing about being a fan is you have your opinion, I have mine. I respect your opinion. I may not agree with it, but I'm going to respect it because it's your opinion. You're a fan just like I am. But it gets to the point where, like, you can respect their opinion, but they don't respect yours. And that's why back at the beginning of 2024, there was a post on X that said, what would you like to see in the world of professional wrestling in 2024? And I said, I would ultimately like to see all the negativity go away and just enjoy what we have as fans, because we have a lot. We do. And the hate comments I got were insane.
oh, I bet.
it was just like, wow. Like, why? Really? Why? And that's why it's not so much of like trying the best of staying away. It's just that I put in my head like, is it really worth having a pissing contest with somebody that you know, and you get that feeling of you could tell they're one of the people that think they're always right and you're always wrong, and that doesn't matter. And that's what, you know, sucks. But back on track. Yeah, I agree though. I want to get Cody merch. I got to get a shirt. I'm gonna try and finagle my kid to get me one for Father's Day, but she's got to do it sooner than WrestleMania. Hell, sooner than Elimination Chamber, because I feel like this is gonna move pretty fast. And yeah, I need to get a Cody Rhodes shirt on my back. It's got to happen. It does. Even just have one as a Cody fan, you know. I do have. You remember? Really quick before we get on to the next subject, you remember the shirt that came out? I'm a Paul Heyman guy,
Oh yeah.
bro. Did I make sure I had one of those the day they came out? I'm a
Really?
Paul Heyman guy. I am. I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
That's sick. I like that.
Hell yeah. I'll have to wear that shirt one broadcast, maybe next week.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Pop that shirt on.
absolutely.
I'll have to. We're gonna get into our next subject, and our next subject is almost got died jacked up. Oh, dude, I popped Will on this one earlier too, because we were talking about titles for things, and I said to him, I said I have a pretty tough time coming up with titles for things, but sometimes something will just come to me, and I'll use it if I feel comfortable with it. And I'm pretty sure you know who this is about. It's about
Oh,
Dominic Dijakovic. Now, there's a little bit of news that came out over the weekend. He was at an airport, and he had a fan pretty much bugging the shit out of him. It got to the point where this fan almost got punched in the face. He went on to say that he had the urge to punch this fan in the face, but I held my urges back, and then I ended up signing his stupid action figure. Now, let me ask you this, Cam. There's many fans out there that are legit collectors of memorabilia, but then you do have those fans that try and get signings just to make money. My question for you is, would you go out of your way to go bother a superstar if you knew they were coming into a certain airport? Would you go out of your way to go bother a superstar to get a signing? Or would you ultimately wait to see if they come to your area for like a meet and greet and do a signing?
Man, this is perfect. Perfect. It's a perfect segue into what we were just talking about.
It is.
Again, I'm not the kind of person that's just going to go up to somebody that I don't know. It's just my anxiety, especially somebody who, for lack of a better word, is famous. I've seen on my screen, I follow their career, blah, blah, blah. Not gonna do it. Because I've heard especially since I've heard too many horror stories, I guess,
Yeah.
of disgruntled fans being brushed off or just rejected or ignored from said people because they were in between getting to a flight or they were out with their families, da 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 da. I always say, like, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
And of course, you have those fans who I don't really feel like are legit fans because they'll show up with like 30 Funko Pops,
Yep.
one a wrestler to sign each one of them just so they can go and sell them anyway. It's not a real fan to me. It's just not. They did it to Alexa Bliss, they did it to Rey Mysterio, and it sucks to see, right? Those are decent human beings out here in the world, making a living like everybody else.
Yep.
And they don't always want to be bothered with autographs and stuff shoved in their faces. They're trying to get to place, probably trying to find a gym, hotel. Like they have a rough schedule in their daily lives. Like don't always bother them. Don't wait outside of bathrooms and stuff like that. Like it's just weird. Like don't do that. So for this story is just like, yeah, I don't blame Dijak. I really don't. And so to answer your question, no, I wouldn't be the person to bother them. I would just wait for a meet and greet because that's the most appropriate place to have that interaction, that signing, whatever. Perfect. But going up to people and out in the everyday functions, like, nah, not a fan of it.
So I have two short stories real quick. Number one, have you ever heard of the pop star Shawn Mendes?
Yes.
So he has the most memorable, perfect confrontation with a fan, and this happened a couple years ago. There's a fan standing outside of the hotel he was staying at, and this fan was haggling him to get an autograph. Haggling him. And Shawn was on a very strict, tight schedule to where he said, "I'm sorry, I can't stop for any fans." And this fan just would not stop. And Shawn said, "Who am I making this out to?" Pretty much saying to this fan, like, "You were haggling me. Like, who am I making this out to?" And the guy says, "Oh, it's going to my sister, but I don't want her name on it." Right there. It's like he knew, like, what's her name? And the guy gave Shawn a girl name. And there was no proof the sister wasn't there. The guy, I guess, didn't want to call said sister. He just wanted an autograph from Shawn Mendes without a name attached to it. The guy ended up giving him a name. Shawn ended up signing said memorabilia and added the girl's name to it.
Oh man.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Smart move. Don't fucking blame him. Because now the guy cannot go sign it, or he's got to hope. Because if the guy doesn't have a sister, he's got to hope that if he is selling it, that a girl by that name, like Shawn Mendes, and wants the memorabilia. Other than that, he's stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck. But my second story is I went to a meet and greet back in August with Sean and Scowls out in New Jersey. And this has to do with the whole crowd and interactions type of thing. And I'll say this. It was very hard for me to be starstruck because I met The Rock back in 1999, 2000, around that area. It was around the time that The Rock took on Triple H in the Iron Man match. It was about 3 weeks before that match, and that's when The Undertaker came out as Biker Taker. That's the time I met The Rock. That kind of set me up to be able to meet stars because I met the biggest star. And even back then, The Rock was one of the biggest stars. Hands down. So it set me up to be able to meet somebody I'm a fan of and not lose my shit. I've been to many TNA shows. I met my favorite female wrestler in TNA back in the day was Velvet Sky. I met her. I was able to give her a hug. Like, super cool about it. Met other wrestlers. Hell, after one of the house shows that I went to, I stood in the ring with Austin Aries when he was TNA champion. Took a picture with him. Super cool. Super cool experience. But the thing is when you go into those experiences as a fan, like, stay calm. Like, stay calm. I understand, like, you're going to lose your shit because you're meeting somebody that you really like. Lose your shit before you get up there. That way you have control of yourself in order to speak to that person. For example, when we went to that meet and greet, we met Thunder Rosa. A huge fan of Thunder Rosa. I was super excited for weeks leading up to meet her. And I knew I was going to be speechless meeting her. So all that excitement I kind of released before meeting her. Then I was actually able to have a conversation with her. So That's my word of advice. Is if you're going to meet somebody that you really, really like, try and release that energy. That way you can have a nice, calm interaction and memorable interaction with that person. Because that could be the only time you're meeting them. Just like my favorite tag team of all time is the Dudley Boys. I met Devon that day.
Oh,
Met Devon that day. And I had a great conversation with him. It was super cool. And I was sitting there debating whether I wanted to spend the $40 to get a picture with him. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to regret it if I don't. I said to him, like, this is a memory of itself of me just talking to you. Like, I realistically don't need your autograph. I don't need a picture. This is a memory of my own. He's like, I respect that. Like, a lot of fans don't look at it that way. And I said to him, but I do. Like, this is a memory of its own. This is in your head and my head. This is our memory. But then I said to him, I'm going to regret if I don't get a picture with you. So I'm going to get the picture. Here's $40. And the person that took the picture, you know, you were able to snap, I think, like 2 or 3. And he told the person, make sure you snap at least 6 or 7 so we get the perfect picture. Yeah.
that's what's up.
It was cool. Like, it was super cool. So, but, you know, my anxiety that day hit a high level to where I had to walk out of the convention center like 3 or 4 times. I literally ended up outside and I shed tears because of my anxiety. I'm not afraid to admit that. Kip Sabian asked me if I was okay. Walked out to his car. He's seen me. Literally came over to me and he said, "Are you okay, mate?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Just my anxiety." He's like, "I understand. I get it. You know, do you want somebody to sit with you for a minute?" I was like, "No, I don't want to, you know, if you're offering, I don't want to keep you. You know, there's other fans. I'll be good in a couple minutes. I'll be back in." And he was like, "Make sure you come over and see me so I know you're okay." I'm like, cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. Like the interactions. You just got to be calm. That's it. You know, but I don't blame Dijak for getting pissed off about this. I really don't. So we're going to go into our next one, and this one is called In the Cards. Do you know who this one's about?
No idea.
So her name is kind of in there. It's about Jade Cargill.
Ah, clever.
In the
I
card.
like it.
So Jade Cargill, as we know, made her WWE debut back at the Royal Rumble. She had a pretty good showing. Not bad. But now, where do we go from there? We don't know. There's been no booking plans for her moving forward. Nothing. But she decided to put a post out saying that she is the hottest free agent in WWE. So many choices. So Cam, your thoughts on where do you think we see Jade Cargill ultimately end up? And where would you like to see her end up?
I mean, realistically, there's only really one option. It's got to be Raw. Raw,
Oh,
SmackDown. Their women's division is stacked right now. Like, do they really need Jade? I don't think so, because it just makes the women's divisions on either brand just very lopsided. So they definitely need a little bit of star power over there. I mean, and there's options over there. I mean, you know, she can feud with Nia. She can feud with Becky. She can feud with Rhea. She can feud with Liv. I think Liv's on Raw. I think.
yes.
So yeah, there's options over there. You know what I'm saying? And I think they can benefit from having a little more star power on their flagship show. Where I would like to see her go. I mean, originally I had said NXT, but I just feel like that would kind of be a waste now because they've built her up. They've rolled out the red carpet for her as this big signing. So now it would feel kind of weird. You know, she would easily be the biggest name on that roster if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Because the rest of that roster is pretty much still like in development. They're still trying to find what works for them, trying to get their name on them. So it really wouldn't benefit that roster because she would just kind of push them further down the card. So I don't necessarily think that would be a good move. I originally wanted her to go to NXT because at that time Becky was still NXT Women's Champion.
Okay.
So I was like, that would be a blockbuster move right there. Her and Becky NXT title, but that's no longer the case. So they could easily do Becky and Jade on Raw now. So it would give Becky something to do. It would give Becky like I said, as I said before, after the Rumble, it would give her something bigger to do going into Mania, maybe. Jade and Becky at Mania, night 1, night 2, whatever. That's a match. So
I mean, I ultimately feel like they're going to get to Becky and Rhea at Mania for the women's title.
yeah.
They can get to Jade and Becky at SummerSlam for the women's title. I thought my thought was SmackDown. For some reason, I felt like she fit more on SmackDown. Like you said, the women's division is stacked there, but you just named a lot of names over on Raw where it makes it stacked over there too. Like both women's divisions, they're stacked. A lot of star power. So I think her progression, because I mean, it's obvious that she needs to progress a little more in WWE. Again, she's got to learn the WWE style. I think she would benefit a little more on SmackDown because you have, a Bailey and Io. Tiffany Stratton's there now. I think there's a lot more women on SmackDown that she would benefit off of learning in ring with while being on TV. Because if you look at the Raw roster, like you said, Nia, Shayna, Zoe, Becky, I guess, well, I mean, Asuka and Kyrie are over on SmackDown, but they've been on Raw because of the tag titles. But the star power on Raw, Rhea Ripley on Raw, like the star power on Raw is insane. Like that's I feel like that's your more, I don't want to say the word advanced lineup, but maybe a little more experienced. Not taking away the experience that Io and Kyrie and basically Damage Control. And I know they broke up on Friday, but I'm just saying the women that were in Damage Control, they have the experience. I feel like Jade would benefit learning off of them because Raw is such a fast-moving monster. Like, she would really have to hold her own on Raw. She'll probably get drafted to a show come draft time, around the time, the draft happens around Backlash, Money in the Bank, in between there. She'll get drafted. Probably her first year, SmackDown, I feel, would benefit her. And then after that first year, move her over to Raw and get her on that star-studded, a little bit more experienced roster.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just saying that the rosters could change, obviously, with the draft. But you got a great point though.
Well, yeah, one more thing before we close out. But no, I mean, like, I guess what I was getting at is, like I said, I just think SmackDown's is just a little bit more stacked. Like, yeah, you have some names on Raw, no doubt, but I don't think that roster is as it's not as lively as SmackDown right now. Like right now, I feel like you have the hottest feud going right now with Bailey and Io.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Io, you got Asuka, you got Kairi Sane. Now you got Tiffany going over there. So it's like and Tiffany's one of the biggest ones to go over there now after coming from NXT. Then you add Jade too. It's just like, man, that's a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of firepower. The biggest name that Raw has on their division right now is Liv coming back from the Rumble, and that's pretty much it. Like everybody else is just kind of seeming like they're just kind of getting left in the dust right now. With Rhea being on top, there's really nobody for Rhea really left. You know what I'm saying? Like when they had that fatal 5-way, she pretty much beat all the top contenders.
Yeah.
So they got to build up. They got to build up new people. So you know what I'm saying? She would benefit from going to SmackDown. She would have fire feuds over there. You know what I mean? So that's why I've said I feel like Raw would be the best fit because they need some real firepower to kickstart their division and make it equal with SmackDown right now.
There is one more real quick. We'll make this one quick because this is probably the quickest one out of all of them. But this one's called Voice Your Opinion. It's about the announced teams. Corey Graves said earlier this week that he pledges to enhance the SmackDown commentary. He calls it, he's called being lead announcer a new mountain, a new challenge. There will be speed bumps and challenges, but room for improvement. How do you feel about the announced team switches with Pat McAfee coming back to Raw in opposed to SmackDown? He's with Michael Cole. Great fit there. They're on Raw together, 3 hours. And then you have Corey Graves and Wade Barrett over on SmackDown. Your feelings real quick about the announced teams.
I like it. It's definitely a mix up, especially for SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
They've always kind of considered Michael Cole like the voice of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it's very different. Happy for Corey Graves. He definitely gets a major upgrade.
Yep.
So he's now doing the play-by-play. So I like it. I've always liked Wade Barrett and his commentary as well. I think he does well on commentary. So I'm not opposed to it. Obviously, I love Pat McAfee. Everything he does, Pat McAfee is just funny. I said this before, and it's just like the thing that separates him from any other commentator is that it just seems natural. It just seems like he's an actual like ESPN play-by-play or ESPN color commentator. So I like that he kind of breaks up the someone in his ear kind of commentator versus he just reacts to it like a fan would like that. So I don't mind the commentary team's switch ups.
I honestly thought it was going to be Michael Cole and Graves on SmackDown and Michael Cole and McAfee on Raw. That's what I thought it was going to be when we seen McAfee come back last week. But then when I read the next day that it's going to be Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on SmackDown, I was like, this is going to be odd. Like Corey Graves never had the lead announce. It's going to be weird him being the lead and then Wade Barrett backing him up. But it's new. It's something new. And for the past couple years, they've gone through the ringer with commentators. I mean, they've had guys
2-person now team. They went to a 3-person now team to back down to 2. Yeah.
I mean, they just went through the pool of announcers, and they finally have a pretty comfortable fit. So let's see if it works. I'm liking it. I mean, I haven't heard a whole show done by Corey Graves and Wade Barrett yet. I've seen clips of SmackDown. I didn't get to watch SmackDown this past week. So I'm going to do my best to make sure Friday night I'm watching SmackDown. Yeah, so we'll see, but not a bad move. But Cam, like you said, before we close it out, we're at that end. But like I said, this subject was the last one I wanted to bring up. So Cam, your socials are on the bottom here. Head over to Cam's social medias. Make sure you hit the follow, subscribe button, turn on your notifications, check out everything that Cam is doing on his social medias. And like I said, Cam's Wrestling Corner, check it out. You will not be disappointed. I mean that. I'm not bullshitting you people. I'm not just saying that because this man is on screen with me. I tell this man off screen that it's great. And I do watch his videos. I do. I got to start sharing them. That's what I got to do. If anything, I got to start sharing them so we can get more people watching. And that's that.
Appreciate you.
Definitely, brother. I appreciate you. I do. But with that being said, Cam, where can people find you on the networks here throughout the week?
Oh, man, you can find me right here every single Monday night with this man to my left. And of course, the returning, I would hope he would be back next week. The Alpha Wolf, Sean, I think he was under the weather this week. So it was just me and Mike. But you can find me right here every single Monday night after Monday Night Raw for 2 hours on this program, a part of the Table Spot right here on Rivet City Radio. And then you can find me on a Wednesday night immediately following AEW Dynamite with this man and, of course, Phil Khan, immediately following AEW Dynamite for The Boom. And then you can find me on our sister page, Off the Top Media, every single Friday night with Jamie and Scowls for another edition of Friday Night Review.
Alrighty. And my socials are on the bottom. I made it simple for everybody. I'm going to stop saying that because it's been over a month now. Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, Metal Mike 714. hit me up on Snapchat. I post things on there that you will not see on Instagram, X, or TikTok. Pretty much a day in the life. I just post random fucking shit. If I have something on my mind, it goes on my Snapchat. It does. I should probably add it on my Instagram, X, or TikTok to, boost my own personal, social media algorithm or whatever, but that's not my fucking goal. My goal is just to be entertaining, have fun, and, whatever. That's what Snapchat's for. Day in the life. If I go shopping, you see it. If I'm at work, you see it. It's there. If I have something on my mind, I go on my Snapchat, I say it, you see it, you hear it. That's that. And you can private message me on there, have a conversation. But Metal Mike 714 across the socials as far as on the networks here. Just like Cam said, right here on the Table Spot every Monday night following Monday Night Raw, 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Boom every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Cam and Phil. And you can also catch me on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Candyman himself, Johnny H., as we talk everything and anything in the world of football. Super Bowl's coming up this week. Like we said, that's it, man. NFL's almost done. We are going to be talking about the big game. We're going to be talking about the NFL honors. And we got a couple other things we're going to be talking about. You're probably thinking, how are you guys going to fill an hour and 45 minutes with only two things going on? Well, believe me, we make it work. We'll have a lot to discuss this Sunday. And if you want more news out of pro football, you can catch the 15-minute show that I host. It is Rivet City Red Zone's it's a halftime show. I record it on Tuesdays. It gets dropped on Wednesdays. Yes, Rivet City Red Zone halftime heat. I pull together any of the news that comes out from Sunday afternoon, the moment we go off the air, until Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. And then I hit the record button, and it gets posted. It gets posted and dropped on Wednesdays. And the audio form is out as well. So if you want to just hear it in audio form, or if you want to hear Friday Night Review on audio form, I didn't get too far into the Spotify stuff yet. I didn't get to search too much more. So the only things I seen on there was Friday Night Review and Halftime Heat at the moment. If I catch anything else, I will promote it as well. But as far as my knowledge right now, Friday Night Review and Halftime Heat is in audio form over on Spotify. So look up Off the Top Media on Spotify. And you can check them out in audio form if you do not be able to check them out on video form. So before we get out of here, Cam, do you have anything else for the class?
Nah, that's it, man. As I always say on the Boom, love, peace, and prosperity. And we'll see you guys next Monday. Well, me and this man will see you guys on Wednesday.
Wednesday night on the Boom, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. After AEW Dynamite. As I always say, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until next time, everybody. Deuces.